So my name is Erica Lubner and I'm a farm family consultant with New York FarmNet. Many times families will sit down without a facilitator and try to go it alone. And maybe it's over a family dinner. And somebody gets mad and inevitably leaves, and then they don't talk about it for maybe another 6 months. Or they might call FarmNet and say, we've tried this before, it went horribly, and everybody's afraid to come back and talk about it again. So that's one of the great things about FarmNet. We can go in and we can set up some guidelines and set up some boundaries around the conversation. But really, as a facilitator, I'm looking for, what is going on in the room? What is the energy level? Who's not talking? Who's upset? And try to draw out, some of those emotions. So some of the communication skills that farmers need to keep in mind in order to have a successful farm transfer is to be open in the process. So they really can't be afraid of asking the important questions. If they're coming to the table feeling apprehensive or upset about something, they need to make sure that they're not blaming each other for past problems. They also need to really check in with themselves and say, okay, am I too upset to have this conversation right now? Do I need to, take a step back, get my emotions in check, and then to really ask questions of each other. Guys, these skills are being taught all across corporations, companies, businesses, globally. Why should farmers be exempt from learning these skills? Why? We shouldn't. We're managing people. We're managing difficult personalities. We're trying to manage ourselves. Why should we be exempt as farmers from learning these skills that people are learning all across businesses and corporations? Another skill that we teach a lot is about emotional intelligence and how can farmers increase their emotional intelligence. So that is getting farmers to realize, what are they feeling? How are they managing those feelings? Are they realizing that what is going on for somebody else emotionally? And then how are they managing their relationship with that person? That's emotional intelligence in a nutshell. So we're taught how to vocalize, but there's so much more to communication that we're not taught. We're not taught how to listen, really listen. We're not taught how to pick up on emotion in the conversation. We are only taught how to verbalize. Okay? I'm trying to really be the person that can keep the conversation going, and then to make sure that they have some success. Because once farmers realize that, we can do this without fighting or getting upset, we can be respectful of each other in this space, that gives them the confidence for the next meeting. And that's where you can get to some of the goal setting. If we can't communicate on the day-to-day little stuff, how can we begin to talk about the overall transfer of the farm? So many of the skills we work on are on the day-to-day conversation. A lot of times farmers think, well, this is silly. Like, why do we have to have an outsider come in and help us talk about how to organize a garage or a barn, or come up with a plan for the planting season? Well, what we know is it hasn't worked the way you've been doing it. So if we can teach you some skills and put some skills into place, then maybe you can have some of these other tougher conversations.